afternoon, sir.
They have put this thing on your syllabus, the creative writing thing, right? Yes. Why do you think they have done it? What could be the possibility that you would be one day a creative writer? Or is it to understand what creative writers do?
Hello. I think probably the purpose behind, the motive behind this is that you get familiar both with the way a creative writer works, as well as if there is any possibility, if you have the inclination and time, then probably you can also do this kind of a thing. It is something very important to understand that we sometimes consider that creative writers are not as learned people are, the so-called learned people. It's not the case. The people who have been recognized as great writers, they have a different kind of mindset and they project their learning, understanding in a very different way. But the interesting thing is that the process of writing nearly remains the same. Look at this.
So it's a touch screen.
Go further. Right.
Now, sometimes we have been made to believe that academic writing is different. Academic writing, when I say the kinds of essays that you write on, for example, different authors, or even if you are writing an essay on the economic situation of India or the political policies of certain parties, you are doing something like an academic thing. Journalistic writing is what you read every day in the newspapers or magazines. And advertising is what you see as a part of regular newspaper, or even nowadays on YouTube you find so much of advertising. Messaging is what you do all the time. You are doing messaging both on WhatsApp, you can also be, once upon a time we used to write letters. I don't know whether it is still popular. How many of you wrote a letter once in their life? Some people still do. You are old fashioned. People don't do that at all. And literary writing is what you read in terms of poems and drama. And now, we believe that they are different. Well, they may be different in some way, but all of them require all of these things. Number two, they all require what we call logic. You understand logic? We think that creative writing is imaginative. When we use the word imaginative, we have this feeling that you can imagine anything wild and you can write it. No. You still have to be logical. You still have to be coherent. You still have to be, in some way, systematic. That's where I think your mental faculties work. Right? And then, order is, you can still have to be, in some way, systematic. That's where I think your mental faculties work. Right? And then, order is, you can make different kinds of orders. You can have chronological order. अमिताभ बच्चन बच्चा पैदा होता है, फिर वो बड़ा हो जाता है, फिर वो इंस्पेक्टर बन जाता है, फिर वो चोर के पीछे भागता है, right? You can do all this. This is a kind of a chronological order. But not necessarily. If you have seen films, I'm not very fond of films now, but long back when I used to see films, I saw a lot of films where the end came at the beginning. The best example is Guide, for example. Guide is where the everyone comes out of the prison in the first few frames, and then the story unfolds in that flash. Okay? Now, you can break the order, but you still have to keep the order in mind. Right? It's like
breaking the sentences. The sentence has a certain order. Ram ne Sham ko mara. You can say mara Ram ne Sham ko. Ram ne Sham ko mara, Sham ko Ram ne mara. You can shuffle around, but still the order remains. You can't say Ram Sham ko ne mara. The bird doesn't have to learn to fly, it flies. We have to learn all this. There is so much of learning to do for human beings in this life. That's why I'm saying all these things probably require some kind of an effort for you to develop and grow. Right? Focus is very important. Those of you who are in the MA Part 2 stage, they might be reading Stream of Consciousness. And you might read, you think like, oh, it is something disorderly, it is incoherent. He was talking about this thing a minute ago, now he's talking about this. You can think of that. But you have to just get into your own mind and see how your mind hops. It kind of flips. It jumps from one thing to another in an instant. We are not conscious of this. That is stream of consciousness. If you know what your mind is doing, you will probably find that it is running beyond your control. This is that discourse, serious discourse. In scientific discourse, we also use that. Scientists also do that. We will see that very soon. Okay? Good writing is highly readable. I have said that. This is all the theory that I wanted to speak in the first few minutes. If at this point you have anything to ask, you are welcome.
What is the story behind the wooden figure in your country?
I don't want to listen your commentary. Extend the story. Just tell me what the next paragraph would be.
He takes the wood and breaks it into pieces.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Who breaks? Theologian. Okay. Then further.
And then he says to the slave, this is yours and mine. So, where is God now? That's what I think.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's good. Good extension. Anybody else who would like to extend it?
Sir,
Yeah, please.
he takes the statue from his hand and starts mocking him that you are a slave, you are in this condition, and you still believe in this wooden figure as a god. Even after knowing that you will not get anything better from this, you might even die after you.
The same extension. You are extending the last part where it brings out the wooden statue. Okay. Now, anybody else who would like to extend? Yeah, please go ahead.
So the theologian takes the wood and burns it.
Okay.
Then he leaves that place, and at night it is cold, and using that wood, some other piece of wood, he puts out a fire. The slaves comes across and tells him this fire. This is the hope for
Avoiding? और ज़्यादा करना कुछ अगला परेशानी ज़्यादा ही मतलब मोशन हो गया. Number one, you can easily see that he is making comparisons. We call this in literary terms similes. He's creating similes. Right? You can see that very easily. But can you just see what kinds of similes is he making? Can't you see? Just push people up. Good, that's very good. From the animal world or the natural world. Why is he not comparing bird to human beings? Why is she not being compared to any human feature? And number two, is it clear that if she compares her one feature with X, is the meaning clear to you? For example, she says, nose as the tip of a sword. Tikhi na karo. He kana chanda na basically. Do you think sword is a very pleasant thing? He has the sway of a royal elephant. My point is, number one, poets do this all the time. They create these similes, these comparisons.
If you kill a butterfly, you become a villain. So that's somewhat similar to what you're also saying, that that models also have aesthetics.
Of course, yes, I know. बिल्कुल ठीक कर रहे हैं आप, बिल्कुल ठीक कर रहे हैं. So these are all created elements, and these are created by creative people. And over the years, certain things have been so much dimensionalized that they have become almost like a rule. Right? So you can even challenge this. I'm just giving you one example. मैं गाड़ी चला रहा हूँ, मेरे साथ मेरा दोस्त बैठा है, मैंने कहता है कि वो भाजी जरा गड्डी इधर कर लो पीछे में और गड्डी चला रही ये हो जाएगा क्यों हंसे हो आगे ना कितना he has assumed that all women are bad drivers, and since she is a woman, therefore she is a bad driver, and bad drivers can cause accidents. Since you are the nearest one, you may receive the hit. It's better to get out of the way. इतना कुछ उसने बिना कहे कह दिया. I, as a driver, challenge him. He said, "फिर किएगा? और तुम गाड़ी चला रही है, फिर क्यों हो गया?" That's my challenge. Can you challenge ideas? The creative writer is a challenger all the time. These are all matters of training your mind for creative writing. Okay?